In 1945, the brilliant Egyptian architect Hassan Fathi constructed a marvelous collection here in El Korana village in the west bank of Luxor to serve the community which lives here. But by time, this collection needed major restoration and rehabilitation projects. Today we have with us the site manager of Hassan Fathi's village, Mr. Lotfi Hassan, who is going to shed some light upon the restoration projects. Thank you for being with us, Mr. Lotfi.
You are welcome, and thank you, and thank Nile TV International to be present in this historical event.
Could you please tell our dear viewers what's going on here exactly?
What we are doing here in this village, the conservation and restoration of the cultural heritage of Hassan Fathi and rehabilitation and to reuse this building after restoration. So we have for now, for the project, 3 important buildings we have to plan to restore and preserve these buildings.
I understand that this was a joint work between the UNESCO and the Ministry of Culture. How was this restoration work determined and done?
Actually, UNESCO, it started to have attention, to be attentive for this Hassan Fathi architecture village, because, and also they included in the list of the heritage of the world. So all the attention, the international attention goes to the Hassan Fathi, because it's considered the unique model in the Egyptian architecture in 1946, which they used the brick, which in the architecture pharaonic, where the brick, the basic building material used in the palaces, in the houses, in the pharaonic temples. So Hassan Fathi, he got this style using native materials, not expensive material, cheap material, so it's easy to get it in everywhere for the simple people. And he was far from using the modern materials like steel and cement. So Hassan Fathi, the idea, the good idea in that project, he get back in life the old materials using in this village, and at the same time he goes in the modern construction. The modern construction, it's like a residential communities where all the elements of life are provided. So all the people they need, they find in their place. It's a complete village with its component. Personally, I consider it that Hassan Fathi village is the first compound in Egypt, because at the time you can see market, you can see mosque, theater for the culture playing, and also the schools. So everything help people in the community to find in them. Before UNESCO decided to have this project or to sponsorize, to direct this project, there are many construction companies tried to get in the village to help to preserve the buildings, but unfortunately they couldn't do like a whole project. They do just a little intervention in different places. But UNESCO came with the full project, with the money, and in collaboration with the Ministry of Culture, they put it together, the plan to conserve and to restore and to preserve the cultural heritage of Hassan Fathi in mosque and khan and the theater. And this considered is the first phase of the project, because the village, Hassan Fathi at the beginning, he built it more than 75 houses in these compounds, in this village. Unfortunately, what we have now, just 5 buildings. So we try to preserve this culture. We try to get the attention of the world to this place, because this is a unique place. It contains the culture heritage in pharaonic area.
What about the various plans of restoration? How do you decide if this object has to be totally renewed or just retouched?
In this project, we have consultants, we have engineering, we have an architect, civil engineer, and architect, and also from the side of the UNESCO, they were also engineers, architects, and the company, implementation company, also they are including engineer, and they actually the engineer and the architect, they do, the work after planning. And all this at beginning, we did meeting, to understand what exactly the intervention should be. So the architecture, he talks in his points what exactly we should do in the project. So for architecture, they need engineering drawing. Every details of the buildings, foundations, walls, elements, architecture elements, everything, we have it and we draw it again. We have other old documentation, we use it, but we improve it by the state of conservation actual inside. And also survey, to take a survey to confirm all the plan with the new. So it helps us to do rehabilitation, reuse for the place, what important to do it. This is from the side, from the conservation side, we did documentation to go like a survey for the condition, study the foundation, how is it, how the decay was, what is the deterioration, which stone, which wall can be changed, which wall can be restored. All this depends on the situation, the actual situation. And the village suffered from the table water and also the sewage. The village doesn't have until now, no sanitation system done. So the people did as they know. Every houses around, they dig a hole just to discharge all this water of sanitation, and this without thinking if this water comes again through the deep of the land to go to the foundation of the building. They didn't manage that, they didn't think it, it's not their work, but the neglecting of the culture of the Hassan village, goes us to that situation, that condition. So we try to record all this by photograph and by graphic, by drawing, by sketch, to see every details of cracks, of separation, of detachment of the layers of the wall, how many stone could be changed to new one, and how many stone we can treat them by using conservation materials. So we decided this, and we started to put the project in work.
What about the elements used in restoration?
As our studying for the project at the beginning, we decided the state of conservation of the building, the state of conservation, the condition that we have now, and the reasons for this condition, just to prevent this in the future, and also to study, analyze the building material of the structure. The building materials was used in this architecture, it's bricks and stone. As we mentioned before, it's the same in the architecture pharaonic. The basic material, they use it in the palaces, as I said. And he used this side, bricks and stone. He used the stone for the foundations. The foundation of the building, it was 3 or 4 rods, depends on the land, the nature of the land when it had been built. And then other 2 courses of stone, and then the mud brick wall. This is the technique of Hassan Fathy. And then when he finishes from the building, from all the architecture elements, he covered with all building the hiba. It's one kind of clay. It came from the mountain and added by straw. A straw, it's a straw. You can use it for the hair in Luxor. It's a cheap material. And they mix it together and use it for paint the wall, as we see in this place in the mosque now. All this is called hiba. So we have building materials, stone, we have limestone, we have bricks. These bricks we have manufactured here. We made it here by mixed clay with water, with straw, and leave it for a time, just for fermentation to be solid, and you can use it later. And then we make a cast, the same size of bricks of Hassan Fathy using in the construction, and then we leave it, spread it in the area here to dry. And this needs more than 1 month, 2 months to dry, completely dry. So after we can use it for the restoration or rebuilding some elements of the building. So we have done many analyses for the bricks, for the stone, because we have chosen the stone is the same quality of Hassan Fathy, because what Hassan Fathy gets from that place, it's now less. So we couldn't use this. We tried to find another place with the same feature of the limestone, and we make many analyses like pressure, compressed, strengthening, so to see the same quality or close to the quality of Hassan Fathy. Then we get this stone for the restoration. The mud brick, it's the same. The problem that Hassan Fathy has built it since without 1946, so it had all long period to dry. But now we have just bricks dried since 2 years.
El Khan is one of the important buildings restored here. What was it used for, and will it still be operated?
The Khan is very nice building. I mean, it has all the function for the commerciants. So they're gathering the commerciant in this place to export their products or to meeting together, to do the business of the village, and to prepare some products to be exposed in the market. So there are many functions for this because we found also the bathrooms, the other places, they helped the people to be inside. So it was really good as a point of commercial to be there and to discuss and to meet and to see what their business there in the village. The building, it's really very nice. I mean, it has many vaults, many domes, many arches. This is the architecture of Hassan Fathy. He learned it from Nubian, he learned it from the pharaonic architecture. He tried to gather all together in one very new idea. So I think he's success of that. And the building, the problem with the building, it's his level, it's level lower than the level of the street, the level of other buildings. So I don't know what's the nature. I mean, Hassan Fathy, he didn't do anything. I mean, maybe he built it, just depends on the level of the area that he had. Or there is another function, but at this situation, it creates a problem. Because as we said before, there is no sewage system, there is no sanitation system. The table water, it's high, lower. The water comes during the floods. So this level, lower than the street, it could be a problem. It causes damage more than other buildings. That's what we studied in this project to change the foundations because it was almost 60% are damaged, decayed. We tried to remove some stone. We can find stone deteriorated 2 through 3 blocks, and the other is good around. So get out all this, and we try to insert a new stone with a new mortar. The same technique of Hassan Fathi. Hassan Fathi used the stone, and he filled the gaps between stone with the mud clay, and then he started to build the bricks. So we use all these methods, his technique. The first thing we find the cracks. It was evident. You can see it for the normal person, not just for the study. And we had to remove the paint, the hiba. The hiba is the outer layer. So we started after studying, we decided which part we have to remove it, which part we have to restore it. And if we remove it, we have to do it the same technique of Hassan Fathi has. So we take off all the hiba to see what behind of the walls to treat it. We have found many cracks, many separation, so we fill it with the same system of Hassan Fathi using the same material. And there are the arcade. When you see the hand, its resistance construction is arcade. It's 9 shops with arcade, and then all the 9 shops, it has a vault, and then there is the courtyard to meeting the commerciant and this, and there are other rooms behind, and I think it was some kind of guest or some temporary residence, and there are the bathrooms and the other room service for the place. So if we see the arcade, this is the technique of Hassan Fathi really. It's very nice, very great. When you take off the layer that covered these bricks, we have found very beautiful of craftsmanship. It's really nice, and we lost it in this modern time. When we tried to get together some professionals, some craftsmen to do the same of Hassan Fathi has done, it was a big program for us really. We have found just maybe 3, 4 old people from different places. They had been working the time of Hassan Fathi. So we get them in the site, and we try to get other juniors to learn more from them, so we can be able to do the same quality of Hassan Fathi, because the 2 domes of the arcade from the beginning and the end, they were damaged. So we decided to rebuild this. That's meaning we take off the 4, the dome. It's carried on the arches and carried on the columns of stone. We remove all this, we rebuild it again, and we do the dome with the same side. The beautiful thing that we have found when we treated all this, and we have noticed the technique of Hassan Fathi about the execution of the waste work, the technique, it was really good, and also at the same time it was difficult to find somebody to do the same. So we decide, as a technique of Hassan Fathi, you restore the walls, you restore everything, and you have to make a coating, the final layer. We decided not making this paint layer. Hiba is called hiba. It's clay with a straw, which is the same color around. And we decided not covering all this, just to show the beautiful of the technique of Hassan Fathi. Because if you look at this, it's really beautiful. When you see the domes, when you see the walls, how he cared put it all these bricks with different size and in different system, matching with the stone. and between the door and the windows in wooden, it's really get great work to deserve to be shown for the public and for the researchers, for the visiting. They come from the GUC University or Cairo universities or whatever. I mean, they studied architecture. So it was very good, really event. We have fun.
So personally, Mr. Lotfi Hassan, what do you think about the project of Hassan Fathi here, his inhabitational project? How did it serve the locals here of Corona Village in Luxor?
Really, I like to say that I'm happy to finish this first stage of the restoration of the Khan and the mosque and the theater as a first step in this village. So by doing this project, it's opened many things now. Now the Ministry of Culture, it comes to do another project as a second phase without UNESCO. That's meaning it's encouraged many government, many responsible of this area to be really always good.
Great.
The second, it will be great because it's regarded the site coordination from the main street around the buildings, including restoration of Hassan Fathi house, and including also to repair and painted the new houses around the old houses. I think it will be great for the promotion of the tourism, to get more people inside. It will be really good, great. I mean, when it's finished the second phase. And it will be many projects, others in that area. I guess this, and I hope to have more and more and more about the activities to help the people around here.
So actually it has been very enlightening here in Hassan Fathi village in El Corona in the West Bank of Luxor. We've learned a lot from the site manager, Mr. Lotfi Hassan. So the tourists who come to visit Luxor, they visit the East Bank and they come and cross the Nile to visit the West Bank. So when you come to visit the West Bank, you should cross around here and make a tour in Hassan Fathi's village in El Corona before you continue your tours in the West Bank of Luxor. Thank you so much, Mr. Lotfi.
You are welcome, and thank you to the Nile TV International. Thanks so much.
Thank you.